Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are taking a look at XL level 48.5 Greedent in the Open Ultra League. Once Greedent was released this past Friday, I knew I had to try it out in the Open Ultra League, so I spent the rest of the day and all weekend grinding XL candy, and it is finally complete. Greedent has an incredible stat product. It's very bulky, and with a moveset like Bullet Seed, Body Slam, and Crunch, it picks up some awesome meta wins over Cresselia, Giratina, and Swampert. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at level 48.5 Greedent in the Open Ultra League. Picking up an amazing lead versus a Charmalolan Ninetales. They save swap into Cresselia, and here's where Greedent can shine. Look how little this Moonblast does. Like, it's genuinely hilarious how bulky this thing is. We're going straight for the crunch. The one trade-off is Greedent does not hit particularly hard, but due to its bulk, it can hang with a lot of meta legendaries like Cresselia and Giratina, which gives it a ton of play. We win all even shield scenarios versus a Moonblast, Grass Knot, Cresselia, so we don't have to shield until they do. This crunch will be taking them out, so they do decide to shield it up, and now I know I can very safely shield this because I just basically outpace them is what I do. So I'm going to be able to get to the crunch before they get to the next move. And again, they're going to have to shield or they are going to lose switch advantage. They shield up again. They recognize how bad of a matchup they had in the lead. They're trying to make a play for switch. Unfortunately, I'm able to double shield even if they Grass Knot. And now they should just about be in Body Slam range. We're going for the Body Slam here. Ooh, doesn't quite take it out there, but we are able to secure a switch. They bring in the Alolan Ninetales, and we're going to be going straight for the Body Slam, trying to do as much damage as possible before we are taken out. The Alolan Ninetales charms us down, we bring in the Talonflame, they bring in Politoed, and I make a huge mistake there. Oh my goodness, I definitely should have Brave Birded. Switched out, and then I would have been in a pretty good position where Obstagoon could close the match, but unfortunately, since I did not, this will get a little tricky. They go for the Earthquake for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why they did that, as Weather Ball is more energy efficient. We're able to get off the Night Slash. They try and overfarm a bunch of extra energy, and unfortunately, they lose the CMP tie to Obstagoon. That's going to take them out, and from here, there is basically no play, as our Talonflame has loaded energy in the back, so we're going to be able to go for this Flame Charge that does massive damage, and the opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. So a bit of a misplay by me in game one, but still able to get the job done. Hopping into the next match against a Poison Jab Alolan Muck, so a very cool pick. We're actually going straight for the Brave Bird here. May as well full send it. I only get a great because I'm terrible at hitting bubbles, and we're able to catch the move onto Greedent. That's fantastic. Dark Pulse does basically nothing, and now they're going to bring in a Charmer. Unfortunately, we did take some damage, but here's where the spamminess of Greedent comes in clutch, because we are just going to try and get to as many Body Slams as possible and apply a ton of pressure to this Clefable. Another Body Slam comes through, and we're now at 2 more Body Slams. So if they don't shield, we can actually win switch here. They try and farm down, but Greedent is too spammy, and we are able to flip switch versus a Charmer. Alolan Muck comes back in. Unfortunately, there's lag. I'm not able to get to my move, and I am going to bring back in Talonflame because Poison Jab Alolan Muck does actually pretty decently against Obstagoon. We shield up the Dark Pulse, and now we're just going to be farming up a decent amount of energy, and they have an Obstagoon of their own in the back. So we're going to be going straight for the Flame Charge. They call it a very, very nice no-shield there. And we are going to let this Night Slash go, and we're going to save that energy and bring in our own Obstagoon. We get the counter through as they throw, and now we absolutely have to shield this up, and then we're just going to commit to the farm down. We commit to the farm down, and we now have a bunch of stored energy to take on this Alolan Muck. As I mentioned, Obstagoon doesn't have a great matchup versus Poison Jab Alolan Muck, but with this much of an energy lead, it completely flips things. Obstagoon able to do so much damage. They recognized they couldn't shield. They had to save a shield for the Brave Bird in the back, and were able to counter down and get the win. Hopping to the next match, about the best lead you could see. Talonflame into Ferrothorn. They save swap Drifblim, and we have Obstagoon. So right off the bat, things are looking extremely rough for my opponent, as we unfortunately appeared to potentially have them hard countered. We are going to be going straight for the Night Slash. Night Slash, unfortunately, since we're debuffed, doesn't do a whole lot, but it's very hard for Drifblim to flip this matchup. The Icy Winds do a decent amount of damage, but unfortunately, even when debuffed, Night Slashes really hurt, and the fact that they didn't shield the first one means my guess is they're probably going to play out the Zero Shield and just leave me winning Switch, but very, very debuffed. And that's exactly what they do. And what's their third? A Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales. So a team that is very, very weak to Talonflame. So things are looking good for us here. And they count very well there. They are going to be throwing the Weather Ball to take us out. Very nice counting by my opponent. And now we're just going to align Greedent with the Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales, and we sneak a Bullet Seed through. So at this point, this game's over. There's nothing the opponent can do. At this point, the game is already decided, but they're deciding to play it out. So you know what? Let's play it out. We're able to land the Body Slam, and again, Greedent is so bulky that we don't have to shield this. Even if it was a Dazzling Gleam, which it is, we're able to tank it. The bulk of Greedent is incredible. This thing is a genuinely formidable threat. We're able to get off another Body Slam here. Let's see if this does get the last shield. It does. Now we just bring in Talonflame. And basically, our lose con is getting thundered. So we can let that Weather Ball through. And you know what? They don't throw, so I'm going to throw the Flame Charge. That's going to take them out. And we've saved enough shields where there's no hope of them getting to a Thunder. So the Ferrothorn is going to top left, and we are able to secure the victory. Alright, hopping into the next match. Talonflame into Gallade. This is a pretty decent matchup for us, but the confusion damage really adds up, so the 2 shield is rough. They have a Shadow Dragonite on the save switch, and that's one thing that I was not planning for in the Open Ultra League. So we build up, we bait the Brave Bird, and now we're coming in with Greedent. I really did not plan for Shadow Dragonite, so this team does not do the best against it. We're able to sneak a Bullet Seed through, so if this is just a Dragon Claw, we can undertap this, get off our Body Slam, which we're able to do, and this is going to be taking them out unless they commit the second shield. And it does take them out. That's absolutely massive. They come back in with Gallade, and unfortunately, I did not throw, but if it's a Leaf Blade, do we live this? Oh, Greedent is too bulky. That's where having a PvP IV optimized Greedent comes in clutch. We're going to come back into Talonflame. They have Empoleon, and we have Obstagoon. And Obstagoon is going to easily be able to handle this Empoleon, as we are just going to overfarm quite a bit and throw our Cross Chop right before they get to their 5th waterfall. They do get it through. And if they decide to let this go, which they do, this game is going to be over, because we're going to be able to get to 2 Night Slashes. First one, of course, will be getting the shield, and second one will be doing a nice chunk of damage. Yeah, and at this point, unfortunately, my Talonflame is just too healthy. We get the boost. They throw. You know what? I'll save the shield for Talonflame just to be safe. They close combat, that's fine. We bring in the Talonflame. A little bit of lag there, but we are able to incinerate down and take the win. All right, hopping to the next match. Talonflame into Empoleon. Terrible lead. We're going to save swap into Greedent, and we bait out a Scrafty. So things are looking rough here. So far, we've had some pretty decent leads, but here's where the leads start to turn. As you can see, we are countered on the lead, and we're countered on the save switch. Boy, I mucked up my words there a little bit, but we're able to get to 2 Body Slams, so we should be able to hopefully get this Scrafty fairly low. We cannot flip switch. The power-up punch and counter combination is too deadly, but we're going to be able to get off these back-to-back Body Slams here, and at the very least, get it low. They are able to counter down. My hope is I can incinerate down. They get to a move. I believe this is just a power-up punch. I think they're short, which they are. That's absolutely huge. And now, if possible, if we can get to this Flame Charge versus Empoleon, which we're able to do. They don't have to shield this, but this does do a decent amount of damage. and now we switch into Obstagoon, and they have a Giratina in the back. So the team working exactly as we hoped. As you can see, like a lot of the teams I build, it's a pretty standard ABB style team, where the goal is we have two normal types in the back. We're trying to bait out their best response to a normal type, so that way Obstagoon's able to sweep in the back. So countered on the lead, countered on the swap, but we're able to bait out their only fighter, and now Obstagoon has a ton of play as a closer versus the rest of their team. They shield up the Night Slash, and this is a pretty miserable matchup for Shadowclaw Giratina. I do aggressively switch into Talonflame, reason being I need to bait back out this Empoleon. Empoleon can farm up to 2 moves, but we have 2 shields, so this is fine. We're able to get it into a range where, yeah, they have 2 moves, as there's a bunch of lag there, so we're not able to get a fast move through, but we are going to be able to counter them down before they get to a 3rd. We even sneak a counter through, so we're going to be able to counter down this Empoleon. And on the bright side, even after the waterfalls, we are still outside of Dragonclaw range. So Giratina throwing the move right away. Dragonclaw does not KO us, and we are able to land this Night Slash. So even from a hard counter lead, hard counter on the safe switch, able to clutch it up and get the win. Hopping into the next match and picking up a terrible lead in Gyarados. So we are going to safe switch into Greedent, and we bait out a Talonflame. So right off the bat, this is looking to be a very tricky match, as unfortunately Talonflame is one matchup that Greedent does not do particularly well in, as Bullet Seeds are double resisted, which makes it a very tough fight. We do outpace them, which is very nice. We're able to apply a ton of pressure with body slams, but unfortunately, if they get those Incinerates boosted quite a bit, then they're in a position where they should be able to farm down. Yeah, that is not great for us, as they're able to get to another Flame Charge. I'm shielding it up. I am really trying to push for it, and we have the back-to-back body slams. We really need the second one to KO here. Come on, Greedent. Can we flip switch? Defying the odds in the Sims, and we're just short. We can't Bullet Seed down. That is absolutely heartbreaking. I need to shield up the boosted Brave Bird. That would kill like 8 of my Talonflame. Because the good news is, even if Gyarados Aqua Tails us, we should be able to land a Brave Bird, and Brave Bird does a ton of damage to Gyarados. Aqua Tail lands, we're going to be able to fire back with the Brave Bird, and then we need to switch into the Obstagoon, and they have Cresselia in the back, so this is looking rough. Normally a pretty good matchup for Obstagoon when shields are up, but when shields are down, unfortunately 2 Moonblasts will KO us, and unless we get the boost, this is looking pretty rough for us. Able to get to the Night Slash, and we're able to successfully fast move deny, which is really nice, so we should be able to get to the 3rd one, but we don't boost. That is unfortunate there. The win con was definitely the boost, and they are going to be throwing. This will be taking us out, of course, and then our only win con is to try and Incinerate down. They switch back into the Gyarados, and they get to a move. We're not able to Incinerate down. Very well played by the opponent. Unfortunately, just tough matchups all around, not quite able to pull off that match. Hopping into the next match, and this is the toughest Mon to see if you're running this team. Melmetal is a team effort, as all 3 Mons do lose to it. Now, I will say, Melmetal is a lot less common in Season 8 than it has been in previous seasons, but it's still around, so if you see it, it's going to be a very, very difficult battle. They go for the superpower that does quite a bit of damage, and they're now going to bring in a Giratina. Now, they may be thinking, hey, I did about half the health, so this has to be a good matchup for my Shadowclaw Giratina now, right? Wrong. Greedent still wins this. We're able to go for the crunch. Since we have that slight energy lead, we are going to be able to get to another crunch before they get to 3 Dragonclaws, because even though they have the 2 here, it doesn't take us out, which is absolutely crazy. We're able to get to a crunch, and this is going to be taking out the Giratina if they decide not to shield. Now, the tough part is they bring in the Melmetal to try and farm me down, and I don't have a good response to Melmetal. So here, we are just going for the crunch, and now I aggressively switch in the Obstagoon. They're going to be going straight for the superpower. That, of course, will do massive damage. I need to respect that. And they have a Swampert in the back, so things are looking exceedingly tough for us as we've managed to get the Melmetal low, but our Talonflame does not want to see Swampert whatsoever, and these Hydro Cannons really start to add up, as that does take us into the yellow. This Night Slash will be getting them low, so we're probably going to be seeing that last shield used. Unfortunately, our switch clock is not up yet, and they're very good with counting. They throw on the CMP tie, and they Earthquake me to take me out. So here I'm thinking my only win con is I catch, and we simultaneously swap. No, that is so frustrating. Oh man. Had we not swapped, we would have been in a position to potentially win the game, but since we simultaneously swapped, they're going to be able to get to the back-to-back Hydro Cannons, and that is going to be enough to take us out. So unfortunately, we're not quite able to grab the win. So yeah, if you see Melmetal with this particular squad, it's tough. Yeah. It's just tough. Fortunately, you don't see a lot of them, which is very nice. All right, we have the Talonflame Mirror. I'm going to try and get the extra Incinerate, and we're able to get it. That's really nice. I'm shielding up right away. They almost always Flame Charge bait, but you know what? Better to be safe than sorry. I am going to shield. Now, we're going to be going for the Flame Charge. We do get the shield, and now we're building up, and since I got the free Incinerate through, this is just a Flame Charge, so I don't have to shield this, and I'm going to be going for the Flame Charge and hopefully getting the shield. We are getting the shield. They know they're behind, so they are going to try and catch, and they do a very nice catch onto Cresselia. Granted, this Brave Bird will still do a ton of damage as it's boosted, and now we bring in Greedent. A Crunch does not KO from this health range, but it will get it pretty low, and then, you know what? To see if we can, let's try and Bullet Seed down a Cresselia, shall we? Bullet Seed is a move known for its energy generation, not its damage output, so you know what? We'll give it a go. Trying to farm down, able to get it pretty low, which is nice. And again, Moonblasts really don't do a whole lot to Greedent, and we leave with an incredible amount of energy, and they have a Clefable in the back, so it's a good thing that we preserved our Talonflame. As we're going to be going for the Body Slam, trying to get off as many as possible since we left with 100 energy. Body Slam comes through, they switch out into their Talonflame, and now I'm going to bring out my Obstagoon. Since they switch locked themselves, maybe they won't throw the Brave Bird. I call it, and it's the Flame Charge. That is very nice, and now we're going to start applying quite a bit of pressure with the Night Slash. Night Slash gets them very low, and they get to a move, and this is great for me. I let this go because I don't want to get farmed down by Clefable. So I will definitely let this go. We're going to bring in our own Talonflame, Incinerate down, and can we survive the charms? Yes, we can survive the charms. Whew, that was a close one, but we're able to live them. Flame Charge comes through, that takes out the Clefable and gives us the win. Hopping into the next match, Talonflame into Drifblim. We have two really nice responses to this in the back. Now they're building up to the Shadow Ball. I'm a little worried about the Shadow Ball here. I call it just the Icy Wind. Honestly, works out great for me. I'm going straight for the Brave Bird. Might be an odd decision, but the reason being I have two tremendous Drifblim counters in the back, so I can just go straight for the big damage and safe switch out and see if they have a good response to a normal type. They debuff me, and now they're bringing in Powder Snow, Alolan Ninetales. Unfortunately, being debuffed and Alolan Ninetales being exceedingly bulky when XL'd, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage, but I'm going to try and get off as many Body Slams as possible so I can either stall out the clock so I can switch out, or just do as much damage as I can while I'm here. So again, the Body Slam spam begins even when debuffed. This thing is just about at half health now. Alolan Ninetales now approaching a quarter health. We're at another Body Slam. The Bullet Seed Body Slam combo is absolutely unreal. Now we are going to be letting this go. And from here, hopefully we can bring in the Talonflame. We will have to eat a move, but we do survive a move here, and we are going to be letting that go. They aggressively switch in Drifblim, and I am going to farm down. And now I really hope they bring in their third, and that's what I'm expecting. But they do a really nice play, and they bring in the Alolan Ninetales, and I panic through. So a big mistake by me there, but fortunately it's Shadow Snorlax, and we have an Obstagoon, so we should be in a pretty good position. They're pretty likely to shield, so I go for the Night Slash, opting for the boost chance. We do not get the boost. Now, unfortunately, by the time I get to 3, they could get to quite a few charge moves here, which could be rough, so I'm thinking, you know what? I don't think they're going to throw the superpower first, so I call the bait, it's the Body Slam, and now this game is over. So it was a pretty risky call, but I had a feeling they wouldn't want to debuff themselves on the first charge move that they threw. So I decided to call it, and now we're able to get to the cross chop, and we are going to be able to secure the victory. You love to see it. All right, hopping into the next match against an expert. All right, leading our Talonflame into a Shadow Snorlax. Again, we have pretty good responses in the back to Shadow Snorlax, so I'm pretty happy with that. We are shielding up the Body Slam, as that would do quite a bit of damage, and now going for the Brave Bird. This will be doing massive damage to the Snorlax. It lands, we save switch Greedent, and we're able to get to a Body Slam before they get to the superpower. That's huge. We are going to be able to force a shield here if they don't want to die. They do shield up, they want to get off the superpower, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I don't want to waste my last shield here. We're going to let that go, and they have an Umbreon in the back. So if Umbreon is their best response to a normal type, then I'm hopeful that Obstagoon should have a lot of play endgame. Although the tough thing is, we've seen 2 things weak to counter already, so my guess is they may not have a third, so that could be tricky. We're going for the Body Slam, and now we're actually going to aggressively switch it back into the Talonflame since they opted to stay in and throw a move before switching out. Our switch clocks are off kilter, so they're still stuck in here. We can survive this, and now we're just going straight for the Brave Bird, trying to do as much damage as we can while we're here. Unfortunately, I lagged a bit there, so wasn't able to get all the bubbles that I was hoping for. You really hate to see it. We do want to wait our clock a bit because we're not able to switch, and we have Greedent as a potential sack endgame. We bring in the Obstagoon. They have Swampert in the back. This is somewhat doable for us. Swampert, there could have been a lot worse back here. To be honest, I was kind of expecting a Charmer. We're going to be letting the first one through, first Hydro Cannon, and now we try and catch onto the Greedent. We're unable to do so, but our Bullet Seeds do double super effective damage here, and the Body Slams really start to add up, so they're forced to throw against us, which is nice. We definitely don't shield here, and we can come back in with the Obstagoon, get to the Night Slash before they get to another move. Night Slash takes them out, and from here, things are looking great for us as they just have the Umbreon and shreds of the Shadow Snorlax left alive. We don't have to respect the Last Resort. We just farm up as much as possible. They try and catch. Their counting was good, but I was expecting the catch, so we don't throw our energy. And then we are going to be able to throw the Cross Chop to take out the Umbreon as the clock counts down, and we get the win. So all in all, XL Greedent in the Open Ultra League. I really enjoyed using it today. I went 15-10, and I felt like a lot of those losses were honestly mistakes made by me rather than a particular fault of the team or of Greedent. So I think that Greedent will be at the very least a strong off-meta pick, if not a meta pick going forward. The combination of its spamminess plus its bulk, this thing is absolutely for real. And for what it's worth, I would definitely recommend building a PvP IV optimized Greedent, as it picks up a significant amount of matches over, let's say, a Lucky One or 100%, including a bunch of Charmers in the one shield, Abomasnow, and quite a few others. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.